Türksat. Past, present, and future exist at the same moment. They are all building new experiences that inspire great ideas and breakthroughs in the blink of an eye. In the pursuit of innovative technologies, Türksat, one of the world's leading satellite operators, is now stronger in space with its new satellite fleet. Türksat 3A communication satellite at the 42° east location offers both satellite telecommunication and direct TV broadcasting services via Europe, Turkey, and Central Asia. Türksat 4A provides broadcasting services within a wide area covering Turkey, Africa, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia on KU band. Türksat 4B, a multi-band satellite, ensures high flexibility of switchability and connectivity among different service areas and provides services over a wide geographic region between west of China and east of England, spanning Turkey as well as Europe, Central Asia, the Middle East, and Africa on both KU band and KA band. Thanks to Airbus state-of-the-art technology, the most powerful satellite of the Türksat fleet, Türksat 5A, upon being operational with 10 kilowatts payload power, will be active across a wide area at the 31° east orbit covering Turkey, Europe, the Middle East, North Africa, Central West Africa, South Africa, as well as the Mediterranean and the Aegean Sea and the Black Sea. With its satellite fleet, Türksat focuses on rising values and technologies in satellite communication. Türksat is an alliance of values that opens doors to the world and inspires communication, with its reliable and expert staff investing in the knowledge of the future. We are in an age where information is instantly shared. Our expectations are rapidly changing. Technology is leading us to new experiences. We proudly proceed on a path illuminated by the information that makes our lives meaningful in the age of communication. While new experiences inspire great ideas, Türksat of the future invites you to be a part of this moment. Türksat, space age in communications.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.
We're just about 4.5 minutes from liftoff. Shortly, the transporter erector is going to retract to its pre-launch position. We may see in a few seconds here the arms cradling right under those fairings. Watch those open up. What's going to happen is that TE is going to retract about 2 degrees from the rocket from vertical. And you can see right now those arms are opening up just slightly. In a few seconds, you'll see those arms back off as the TE retracts. And it's just, those 2 degrees is just a little bit of movement, but it's enough to clear the rocket to allow it to leave the pad. At liftoff, it's going to move to a position 45 degrees from the rocket. And you can see it's starting to retract a little slowly there. First, computers are now controlling the launch countdown on the Falcon 9. Once the engines are confirmed to be at full power, the flight computer, which is located on the second stage, will command the ground hold. Everything appears to be on track for an on-time launch. The range is green. We've been monitoring weather. The only primary concern we have is the cumulus cloud, thick cloud rule. But right now, conditions are looking favorable. The percent of violation is 30%. That means there's only a 30% chance of us postponing liftoff. So things are looking good.
Flight computer has entered startup.
We have confirmation of startup. We're just waiting for launch director's go for launch call out.
Türksat 5A, Falcon 9, LDs go for launch.
And you've heard it, we're 30 seconds away. All systems are go for an on-time launch of Falcon 9 with the Türksat 5A satellite, our first launch for this year.
30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. And liftoff.
Stage 1 chamber pressures are nominal.
The vehicle is pitching downrange.
We're now 30 seconds into flight on the Falcon 9. All engines are running at full power. We are preparing to enter through our first major milestone after liftoff, max Q. It's going to occur at T plus 1 minute 12 seconds. We're going to throttle those engines down. We've confirmed nominal status from the avionics team. Next, max Q. That's when the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of dynamic pressure. We throttle those engines down, and afterwards we throttle them back up to keep dynamic pressures below a certain level.
Falcon 9 is supersonic. Max Q.
We've successfully crossed the max Q threshold. Everything is looking good with the first stage's trajectory. Next, we're going to start our MVAC chill. This is going to help us prepare for the next 3 major events. They occur one after another. The first one, those 9 Merlin 1D engines are going to cut off. That's known as MECO, or main engine cutoff. Right after that, the first and second stage will separate, and then the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will turn on. That's known as SES-1. About 15 seconds away from throttling down those Merlin 1D engines, you'll start to see that visual change in that plume you see on the screen.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
All right, all good news here. We had successful main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start 1. Our next milestone is fairing deployment. Those 2 fairing halves on the top of the second stage are no longer needed, and we'll jettison them to help expose the Türksat 5A satellite to space and attempt to recover those later on.
Second stage is on a nominal trajectory. Fairing separation confirmed.
And you saw there, we just jettisoned our 2 fairing halves. It's our first good view of Türksat 5A. It's now exposed to space, and those 2 fairing halves are heading back down to sea level. For those of you just joining, we're 4 minutes into flight on today's mission of carrying the Türksat 5A satellite to its intended orbit on the Falcon 9. We're currently in the first of 2 planned M-back burns. That's what you see on your screen currently. Not pictured here currently, but that's after stage separation. The first stage, we're attempting to recover it. Its velocity at separation was about 2,200 meters per second, or 5,000 miles per hour. Once the separation occurs, the first stage is still moving at such a high velocity, it continues to raise its altitude as it approaches its apogee, and then it will coast down a couple minutes before it starts its return back to Earth. Up next, what you'll hopefully see is the first stage's entry burn. This is the first major milestone for first stage recovery. For entry burn, we're going to relight the center of those 9 Merlin engines. It's actually engine number 9. And partway through this transition, we then ignite 2 more engines, engine 1 and engine 5, which means we have 3 total M1D engines helping slow down the vehicle as it passes into the Earth's increasingly thickening atmosphere. That burn will last about 30 seconds, and we're just about a minute away from that. And also not pictured here, those 2 fairing halves are making their way down. It'll take a lot longer than it will for the first stage, but we will attempt to recover those later on in the evening.
Expected loss of signal, Cape.
First stage is now less than 100 kilometers above sea level, continuing to make its way down. Just 10 seconds away from entry burn. As you watch this here, watch that exhaust expand as it goes from 1 engine to 3 engines. It'll sort of elongate.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
Entry burn has begun. All 3 engines are running currently.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
You heard it, you saw it. Entry burn has shut down. Next, a couple milestones happening back to back. On the second stage on your screen, we're going to turn off that M-back engine. It's known as SECO 1, or second engine cutoff 1. And right after that milestone, we're going to start our final first stage burn, the landing burn, hopefully culminating with a 4th landing of this particular first stage. Going back to SECO, we shut down the M-back, and after that period, we actually allow the second stage to coast. This event preserves the fuel until we need it for that final burn, second engine start number 2, and it takes us to our targeted orbit for today's satellite deploy. We're about 30 seconds away from SECO 1, and after that, only about 30 more seconds until we hopefully have a nice view of the first stage touching down on our just read the instructions autonomous drone ship.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 landing burn startup.
Our landing burn has started. Our second engine is also cut off, as you can see. We're just awaiting confirmation of good orbital insertion. And back on sea level, you can see here the drone ship. We have confirmation of good orbit on the second stage, and looks like we have a good landing on the drone ship as well. This is SpaceX's 71st successful first stage recovery. This particular booster's 4th successful recovery, getting ready for its 5th flight in the future. That's our secondary mission, vehicle reusability, but our primary mission is not